What's up, YouTube? This is Barn on 11970. I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. All right, guys. I get a couple of emails and I got some comments and other things about people asking me why is it that I basically am sticking to my guns with gold and silver, even when there's drops and everything. And I'll tell you, this is what my plan is. I understand people can change their minds, and here's the thing. What I talk about is what I'm doing. I don't tell anybody what they have to do. What people do is ask my advice. I get emails all the time. Even times when I tried to stop doing my channel, I would get lots of emails from people asking me not to because they appreciate my advice. Now, I'll tell you one of the main reasons why I continue with gold and silver right now is the fact that so many people are trying to kill it. So many people are attacking it. So many people are trying to convince everybody how awful it is. Now, here's the thing. I appreciate people's advice. Like, there are some people I have blocked, and I'll tell you something. Every single person I've blocked is not because they disagreed with me. It's because the way they talk. There's a difference between giving advice and being friendly than to just comment and say things, you're a jerk, you're an idiot, I don't agree with you, you don't know what you're talking about. I mean, honestly, if you were at a party and somebody came up to you and they started talking to you that way, you would at very least tell them to get the hell out of, out of your face. But the whole point I'm trying to say is there are so many people out there trying to kill gold and silver, and very angrily. Lots of hatred towards it, which to me just doesn't make sense because there are plenty of investments, there's plenty of things that people can do to create wealth. But you don't see, like, for example, people who collect baseball cards or comic books or um, stamps, for example. You don't see too many videos out there killing and chastising those people, even if it may not make them money right away. What I don't really understand from the majority of the people who seem to have a problem with what I've chosen to do with my future and my family's future, what I don't understand is why some of them are just so angry about it. I mean, I look at it this way. I'm fully capable of making rational decisions. And if I really thought that silver was going to be a horrible investment, I am not going to do it. And I understand people think I'm in love with silver, like I want to marry it or something. I mean, I know protection wise, it's something down the line that I will be very glad I had. But I don't sit there every day looking at my silver or, pouring it all over my body because I'm in love with it. To me, it's just another way that I'm protecting my wealth. With me, I am one of those people, and I always used to be, especially when I was making lots of money. This was back in 2006 to about 2007, I was making more money than I knew what to do with. I was definitely the typical spendthrift where I would just spend it on everything. I mean, I was one of the first people to have a high definition TV, back when nobody else had it, even back before cable actually had, their channels in HD. I bought one of the first HD DVD players. I had an Xbox 360 when it first came out, PlayStation 3 when it first came out. I mean, I was spending money, and if something broke, instead of fixing it, I'd just buy another one. So that's how I used to be. So for me, when I store my wealth in gold and silver, it, number one, keeps me from spending that money and wasting it on garbage. I mean, if you look at the TV and you see all the crap that they're trying to sell you, I mean, it's a waste of your money, especially in shaky times at best. I mean, there are people who are going to thrive no matter what in the world. There are some people that have, you know, wealthy parents, or they have, they just had perfect timing. Not everybody is that way. Some of us have to do what we can to survive. So I understand that some people may not like gold and silver. That's absolutely fine. But to see some people get so angry about it, to the point where there are people who would actually hate me because I guess I don't agree with their logic. And there are plenty of people who agree with me that gold and silver is going to be something that will protect your wealth and be something very beneficial in the long run. Now, why some people would get so angry about it, to me, I don't know, maybe there's just something that happened to them in investing. Maybe they got burned. Maybe they sold too quickly. Maybe, I don't know, misery loves company. But I tend to follow what countries do and what the banks are doing. Now, of course, are we going to get all the information and get it always 100% accurate? Absolutely not. Unless you're part of the system or you know somebody high up, or the best any of us can do is speculate or formulate an opinion. But the one thing, like for example, that I won't do is if I don't agree with somebody, I don't go chastise them on their channel. I don't go and send like emails or attacks or anything. I just follow somebody that I resonate with. And like for example, there are people that say, "Oh, well, people like me just all they do is follow people like Alex Jones and Chris Duane and all those people." First of all, I have to let people know I don't follow Alex Jones. I don't believe in his fear mongering. Now, of course, all of us, when we started out in this quote unquote truth movement trying to find out what's really going on in the world, we've all looked at Alex Jones at one point. To me, once you progress to different levels, certain things you leave in the past. So, does Alex Jones give good information? Most of the time he does. But I've said this before and I'll say it again. If you take 99 pounds of ice cream and combine 1 pound of shit, what do you have? Well, you have 100 pounds of shit. So he may have good intentions, but the point of the matter is he does a lot of fear mongering, and I don't trust him. So I don't follow people like Alex Jones. Again, people like Chris Duane. When he first came out with his videos, they were very educational. They were something that I was looking forward to watching every day. Gave a lot of good information. You could tell he did a lot of hard work. And then all of a sudden, his used car salesman tactics came into play. And then he started adding a little bit about his silver, and then he primarily made videos talking about silver and the silver he has. So for me, that's a conflict of interest. So somebody that was boosting up silver so much and then all of a sudden selling it, to me, I question that integrity. But I've never made a video trying to beat him up. I've never sent him emails attacking him. To me, this is just something I don't agree with his tactics. Now, does that mean he's an evil person or I should hate him? No. So there are people out there that have been following me for years and for whatever reason have a major problem with me. Now, some of them will say things like, "Oh, I blocked them for no reason." I've never blocked anybody for no reason. When they're rude, nasty, just abusive, I'm not going to tolerate it. It's my channel. I can do what I wish. But I just don't want a community of us fighting. I would prefer us all to find logical ways to work together. I mean, if you think about it, it's us versus them. In other words, the system, the governments, the banks. And if we're all fighting amongst ourselves, that's just another day that they steal from us. So I'm always open for suggestions, but if somebody's going to be rude and nasty and just basically make fun of people all the time, why would I want to associate with somebody like that? So if you don't like gold and silver, if you think it's going to plummet and you think people are going to lose their shirt, well, that could be possible, but it's worth a risk. Any investment, there is some risk. So I'm one of those people. I've been stacking gold and silver since 2006. This is before I even knew about all the manipulation and stuff. I was just investing in graded coins, just again for my future. But I'll tell you this much. If I lose my shirt on this, I can look back and say, you know what? I did the best that I could, and there's just certain things you can't control in your life. But the one thing I'll never have to worry about is me having physical gold and silver and all of a sudden becoming worthless. Stocks can do that. I don't trust the paper market, and just because it hasn't imploded or exploded yet doesn't mean that there isn't a possibility of it happening. So if you don't agree, then you have that right. All you have to do is find people who make videos that resonate with what you believe in and move on. But the constant attacks that, not just myself, several people that talk about gold and silver, they get attacked all the time. To me, that suggests that there's something more to it than what meets the eye. I mean, why would so many people want to bash and really get angry over the people who decide that gold and silver is something worth looking into or maybe investing in or stacking? I just don't understand it. So, and I promise any of my subscribers, Because the ones that email me respectfully, I will always email them back respectfully, and can have wonderful conversations. But I promise this to any of my subscribers, the ones that like me, the ones that don't like me. If I find something tomorrow or the next day or what have you about gold and silver that says it's a scam or it's not worth having or there's more to it than meets the eye, I will be more than happy to tell my subscribers because I'm here to try and help. What people take from that is it's up to the individuals. I'm not here to make best friends with people. I don't understand the mentality of somebody that would follow my channel just to thumb things down. Now, I talk about this just because I'm one of those people that's not afraid to confront things. I've always been one of those people. If I don't like something, just move on, and you just don't waste your energy on negativity. Um, it's not always easy, but that's how life is sometimes. So for the people who follow my channel because they agree with the way I present things, and they believe in the same things that I do, and they think gold and silver in the physical form is a good investment and protection for the future against a potential collapse, then that's why I'm here. I'm not here to become famous. I'm not here to make 5 million friends. Obviously, you could see by the amount of people that look at my videos and the responses that I get, it's not a lot. But I was never doing this to become popular. And there were unfortunately times where people could tweak my buttons, so to speak, and be able to make some, drama. And I was the first one to be responsible for my actions, and I thoroughly accept that. Those days are behind me now. I mean, I see people making videos that kind of poke fun and, make not the nicest comments in the world. I'm just going to leave it alone. If that's what they want to do with their free time, if they want to, instead of communicating with people and talking to them and, having an open mind and respecting other people's decisions, if that's what they choose to do with their free time, then you know what? I'm just glad I'm not them. And I'm sure a lot of people are the same way, thinking about their choices. So, nobody's perfect. So I know people will analyze things because they base things on what they see on a video. Most of the people, probably almost everybody on this YouTube, don't really know me. They base it on what they see. And there are times you know, definitely made it interesting for them. But I'm here for the people who want to protect themselves. It doesn't guarantee that's going to happen. And I don't think anybody, if all of a sudden gold and silver plummeted, nobody is going to blame me. Because last time I checked, I'm not the only person that talks about this. But to me, when so many people are trying to kill something and attack it all the time, to me that just suggests there's something else to it. And it makes me very happy that I've made my decision, and I'm willing to take the risk of losing something because, you know, no pain, no gain. That's how I feel about this. I trust my instincts. I know why I got into this. It has not changed since I've been doing my videos. People may not always agree with what I say or how I say it, but I'm just a regular guy that got caught in a whole bunch of information. I mean, before 2011, I was just an average person. Didn't know anything about conspiracies. Didn't care about it. I was a video gamer. I used to play Call of Duty all the time. I used to play Fear on my on Xbox Live for. I mean, I was up there, the rank in the top 100 at one point on weekly charts. That's what I did. I spent my money all the time on garbage. I'm much happier today, even though I am stressed out about what's going on in the world. And I think it's more frustration than anything else because we get bombarded with a bunch of stuff. It's like all of a sudden just standing there and all of a sudden getting smacked by a train. It's amazing how difficult it can be. And it does bring up emotions, especially when you try and talk about things like, for example, the sun gazing. So many people will refuse to even just look into it and they automatically just dismiss it. And that's such a frustrating thing from a person who wants to help people. That's almost like seeing somebody about to fall off a cliff that they didn't know was there, and you're screaming out, and all they're doing is telling you to shut the hell up, and they're going to fall over that cliff. That puts a lot of burden on people, and I know I don't have to do it. I choose to do it. So whatever stress I get out of this and whatever attacks or whatever happens, if I had to do it all over again, I would still do it because every now and then I will get an email from somebody thanking me for what I've done. And to me, that's the most important part. The people who have a problem with me and do nothing but make fun or try and instigate, things, that's just part of the territory. There are people in the world that are good, people in the world that are evil, people in the world trying to find out who they are. And for the past 2 years when I was doing these videos back at my old channel, Barn on 11967, I was bombarded with so much stuff from people. It was overwhelming, and it's hard to handle that, especially so much later in my life. It wasn't until the early 40s that I realized all the stuff that's going on. So anyway, this is a long video. Some people will like it, some people won't. I posted here for me primarily. To me, if anybody likes it, it's a bonus. If they didn't, maybe they might see a different side and say, you know what, I may not agree with what he says, but you know what, I don't have to hate him for it, or anybody for that matter, because if we don't start uniting and working together and learning how to become civil, where are we going in this world? What kind of people are we? I mean, do we deserve to have our freedoms when there are so many evil people in the world and so many people that find pleasure in other people's misery? Nobody's perfect, but you might want to try, each and every one of us, including myself, to better yourself every day. It's not always easy, but you know what? Anything worth having is going to be a challenge. So, as far as my gold and silver is concerned, I have no desire to sell it. I don't second guess what I've done. These dips do not scare me at all. I just see them as buying opportunities, and I see that the future is where I am concerned about. If that's 4 to 6 years from now, you know what? Hopefully I'll still be alive to enjoy it. If not, then it wasn't my destiny. And then ultimately there's nothing you can do about it. So trust your instincts, believe in what you do, get advice all over the place, and just learn to communicate. Just be nice. I don't think that's a lot to ask. Alright guys, thanks for watching. For those of you who watched this to the end, I say thank you very much. I appreciate that. And for anybody that wants to comment, feel free. The stage is yours. Thanks for watching. Peace.